Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from reviews of comics new and old, to history to anecdotes, to really wherever our whims take us. Wonder Girl, Yara Flor, the time is now. Yes, it's Wonder Girl, not Wonder Woman. She was Wonder Woman in future state, which is a future point in the timeline. Potentially. She hasn't been demoted, it's nothing like that, we're just in the past. I've been excited for this comic, so much so that I actually went and tried to order it a week before it actually came out, and then pre-ordered it. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. But I have to say, upon reading it, I have no regrets. The hype is real. So let's take a look together and see if you agree, feel it's meh, or even bleh. But before we get started, I'm Sasha, and if you're enjoying this content, you know what to do. Hit that like button and that subscribe button. Join us in this comic book journey. Surprise announcement time. Wait, what's this? What's happening? Oh, that's right. I have merch now. Kablamo, approved by Casually Comics. Check it out. This is just one of two shirts that I currently have up in the Teespring shop. I partnered with an artist from my hometown to make this happen, and I'm so thrilled. I also have a link to their shop down below as well, because they have some fun stuff too. We have everything. We have hoodies, we have tees, we have mugs. Just put it on all the things. And it's comfy. It's so comfy. Let me lean all the way back so you can see the whole thing. So if you're interested in picking up some cool Casually Comics merch, link is down below. Okay, back to Wonder Girl. Yara Flor debuted in DC Comics Future State, and for many seemed to be the breakout character. While some claimed it was largely because of her appealing design, diagnosing readers as having a sickness for the thickness, others potentially on top of that were genuinely intrigued by her. Her Future State entry, which we reviewed, was one of the more fun entries in the event, and was full of mythology, references, and the promise of a more action-adventure, legend/folklore/myth-based Wonder Woman comic. And many were excited for the character who had been dubbed the Brazilian Wonder Woman. Now, it wasn't all praise. Some felt she didn't seem Brazilian enough, a sentiment that grew stronger when it was revealed that she had been raised in Idaho. There's some people that explained her more colloquial American speech patterns and slang use. Others felt that she was a failed IP push, as it was announced initially that there would be a Wonder Girl series showcased on the CW shortly after she was unveiled back in late 2020. That, however, fell through. Time of recording. We'll see. It could come back. Who knows? The future. Some were annoyed because they wanted to see Cassie or Donna, previous Wonder Girls, while others were excited about the prospect of representation. There was more, but we touched on a lot of it previously, and we don't want to bury the lead. More. There were lots of thoughts, feelings, projections. Well, now people must wonder no more, because it is here. The solo series, issue 1. So let's do it and see how we feel at the end. This issue has the same creative team as Future State. Joelle Jones is writing and illustrating, with Jordi Belair on the colors. The cover features Yara standing in her already recognizable Wonder Girl, or later Wonder Woman, outfit. She's screaming, sword clasped in hand, as a rush of water rises behind her, and the waters themselves contain washed out images, fallen bodies, cities, gods. It's a really solid cover and full of little clues and details and references, as the whole book is. If Yara's origins veer at all towards her Tupi-Guarani mythological or folklore roots, well then this cover is doing some very clever foreshadowing. We open on a flashback as the narration box talks about a plane and its descent. One of the big mysteries presented in Future State surrounding Yara was, who is she? Where does she come from? What is her connection to the past Wonder Woman lore? And what is her connection to that side of the Amazon mythology? Because there are many Amazonian myths, but they do originate in Greece and then branch out. This flashback seems to be giving some answers. We're given a glimpse of a young girl watching her people battle with ancient Greek soldiers. A young Yara, who we are to assume is a young Yara, runs forward to confront the leader, breaking the formation that was protecting her and her mother. She gets close enough to even strike a blow. Oh dear. I do hate the optics of killing a child. Very modern and current jargon at the time of this recording aside, these panels do convey menace. Even just in the sense of scale, how disproportionate they are, how much bigger he is than her. But her mother runs forward and offers herself in her place. Very well. It must be noted that some of the relationships are assumed or inferred, so time of recording, there may be reveals later. And so she stands regally, silently, and gets beheaded in front of her. The girl tries to follow but is stopped, but she never closes her eyes as she watches them ride away. We then cut to Yara on a flight to Brazil, where they find a good way for her to exposit some of her backstory. A woman seated beside her asks her a casual chit-chat question of, oh, is this your first time in Brazil? And Yara's off. She will not stop talking. It's to the point that the woman only escapes after the plane has landed by getting on her tour bus. This is nice because you get the backstory and also establish a character trait for Yara, that she's a bit of a motor mouth, that she can't stop talking. And that is something that was seen in some of the other comics in Future State. Superman/Wonder Woman, she talked a lot. She details how she was born in Brazil and this is her first time back, and how her aunt raised her but would never never talk about her past. We then get several pages of panels in different locations across the Wonder Woman universe, as Yara's arrival in Brazil seems to have caused a ripple effect. First, Themyscira, where Queen Nubia and her regal-looking self senses that something is amiss. Also note her armor, which appears to be paying homage to the fact that in some myths of Amazonia and Amazons, the woman would cut off one of their breasts. If that is the reference, it is a deep yet subtle cut. There's indications of great degrees of passion and attempts at research put out throughout this project. You can see it in the art manifesting in various ways. Next is Mount Olympus, where Hera has a more volatile reaction. Could it be? Last up, the clan of Banu Migdal, and look at this image. It looks like the cover to an album that I need immediately. The women are showcasing their training under Artemis, when their queen, Faruka, reacts in alarm, saying something isn't right. We are then treated to a panel of Yara walking Rio de Janeiro. The corner is lined with various characters who will undoubtedly come into play. Cassie is there for all those who are missing Cassie, so yay! There are also some figures you may not recognize right away if you're not familiar with Brazilian folklore, though calling it that is an oversimplification because really you need to break it down by region. However, that aside, here are some of the things you can see. We see Saci Pererê, probably pronounced a bit differently, a one-legged con artist and trickster often blamed for misdeeds and misfortune on farms. There is the Kuka, or well, Coco, in her humanoid alligator form. There's the Kaipora, who some feel is more like a Kuripura, who we already met in Future State. Then you have your more superhero-based fare, your Superman, your Wonder Woman, your Nightwing holding his new dog. I don't know, it got me excited. Yara finds herself stuck in traffic and gets to a conversation with a bus driver, who will end up being named, so he has recurring character potential. He also seems quite smitten. She sees the cause of a traffic jam as an accident in a car that is about to explode, so she rushes into the scene to pull out the driver, shielding him from the blast with her body. This highlights the fact that there is something different about her, that she is invulnerable in some way. Also that her clothes are too. Makes sense for her, but her outfit? Cause comics code. I mean, cause unofficial but still alive in spirit comics code. We then get something that is not everybody's favorite thing. A splash page that they have to turn its side to read. It's a triptych of the three different women alerted to Yara's presence, and as the dialogue flows between them, we see how they each have very different plans and methods/goals surrounding Yara. Eros, I believe it is time to put our little plan into motion. This can be done with diplomacy, but the Amazon must be excised from her native soil. Kill her. If she's allowed to exist, it leaves us vulnerable to attack from Hera. We then get a YouTuber side character who I hope recurs just because after working on YouTube for almost a decade, well, he seems quite real. Hey, it's your boy Kevin back with another episode of Kicking It with Kevin. Alright, spin-off comic 1. What do you say, girl? Is Iguazu Falls worth the trip? Last time I checked, Kevin, I'm a grown woman, not your girl. Sorry, I tried to make you famous. Jeez. I probably mispronounced the waterfall, but I choose to believe that was Kevin. That's how Kevin would say it for Kicking It with Kevin. Subscribe now. He's on his way to 1,000 subscribers. As Yara looks over the guardrail, she starts to hear a song, like a siren call, when suddenly she is lassoed and pulled into the depths. She is pulled down, drowning, but suddenly her eyes spring open, and she sees a magnificent sea nymph before her. It actually looks like how Yara, or Lara, the mythological figure, is depicted. Next, a hero's journey begins. Okay, listen. I'm excited. I really liked this. It's a lot of setup. It is, and I can see some people not liking that. But the things it was setting up kept me interested. The fact that Yara is kind of a chosen one style figure. She's important but doesn't know why. She's lost her past and must find it. She has duality in her nature. She is of two worlds in more ways than one. She has 3 factions after her that are going to approach her from 3 different angles, or in 3 different ways. And they have ties to classic Wonder Woman lore. So you know she's going to be folded into that. But also she feels more independent than Wonder Girl's past, unless she can do a bit more of her own thing. Plus, that one panel shows that she's going to play in Tupi-Guarani mythology or folklore, as well as DC lore. So you're going to get references to not oft-seen mythological and folklore figures, and that's exciting. And for those who are completely unfamiliar with it, it may make you want to seek it out and learn more about it. Plus, it's a treat for those who do recognize and know those references. However, as mentioned before when we've talked about Yara in this channel in the past, they are artistic interpretations. So it's not 100% accurate, which will bother some, but not others. Yara's personality flows from her previous depictions and is reinforced even from the opening sequence. Though for those who do not like her, that is not a good thing. Side note, some compare her to Korra from Avatar: The Legend of Korra, which, yeah, I see. It's not a complete one-to-one, but I get where people are coming from. Is Yara a waterbender? The comic is full of little nods here and there in the art, and there has been care to try for some levels of accuracy in the depictions of mythological and historical beings/settings. But again, of course, some artistic license has been taken. The art is gorgeous. Everything and everyone looks amazing. I can't wait to see Jerry the Pegasus again. I was also thrilled to see Nubia doing things. I don't want her to be made queen of the Amazons and then never get to do anything. More Nubia, please. More stately Nubia. Yara is also shown to be heroic in this first issue. She rushes in to save someone in danger, and it's a little thing, but it's endearing to see your hero or eventual hero doing something good right out of the gate. The story seems like it's going to be a grower, with more layers and details added, issue by issue as it goes. This was meant to be the hook, and hooked me. I'll be back. Maybe I'll never leave. If there were any nods or lore or any kind of little things I missed, please leave them down below. I love hearing stuff like that. This comic seems like it's set to be a fantastical, mythological superhero adventure, and I'm ready. Now, of course, if one was salty that Yara was being highlighted instead of Cassie or Donna, it's unclear if this would do anything to change that. And for those who wanted a more Brazilian Wonder Woman, again, you'll have to tell me how you feel about that down below. There is clearly care being taken here and effort put in. Whether that will be enough for everybody is, of course, a miles may vary type deal. I've also seen and had convos with people who felt that this was meh or a letdown. So I want to hear from you. Are you hype? Are you a member of the Yara Floor gang? Thick thighs save lives? Did you like it? Or it wasn't for you? Or did you dislike it? I want to hear it all. Leave your thoughts down below. While you're down there, please do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit bell notifications so that you never miss a vid. Thanks so much for taking some time today to spend discussing comics with me. I always appreciate it, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.